What is going on, golf fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Press Podcast. I am Jeff Hartman right here on this Wednesday podcast to get you geared up for the upcoming tournament. In this case, we are talking about the Texas Children's Houston Open at Memorial Park Golf Course. We'll talk about that. But as I always say, we got to take a look back before we take a look forward. We were coming off at the Players Championship, our first goose egg tournament of the year. I'm talking about we had no winners in terms of our favorite long shot, top 5, top 10, top 20. We also had no winners in the bonus section. We've been bit by the withdrawal bug already this season, and that continued into the Valspar. But we did save ourselves. We did it from having back-to-back 0 for 0 days. We actually had some winners at the Valspar Championship. This is at the Copperhead course. And in case you forget, the odds-on favorites to win, here we go, top 5. Xander Schauffele was plus 1,050. Matt Fitzpatrick plus 1,450. Victor Hovland plus 1,850. Akshay at plus 1,900. And Patrick Cantlay at plus 2,150. Now, we took Xander Schauffele as our odds-on favorite to win, and he played well, tied for 4th, was in the mix down the stretch, just not enough to win, so we don't hit there. Now, we took Ben Griffin as a long shot because Ben Griffin, although he had struggled so far this season, he actually was due. We felt like he was due, but not this tournament. He misses the cut. Therefore, that long shot play is no good. The top 5, we had Akshay at plus 385, and he withdrew from the tournament the day of the first round. It was a gut punch. It sucks. So we negate that play altogether. And that also means that we miss out on that play. So that doesn't count as a loss. It just eliminates one of the 8 top picks. We went with Justin Thomas, who finished 2nd in this tournament. I should have known better. I should have looked at the grand scope. He had played consecutive tournaments since coming back from his back injury. Probably should have known that there was going to be a letdown. He finishes tied for 30th, not the top 5 that we had him pegged for, so that doesn't hit. We hedged our Ben Griffin long shot play with a top 10 finish. He misses the cut, and so did Victor Hovland, who was our second top 10 pick. Victor Hovland obviously won this tournament last year, coming from behind to beat Justin Thomas. He misses the cut as well. So there you have top 5 and top 10. Zero of those plays hit. Let's go to top 20. Austin Smotherman. He's been a kind of a roller coaster season so far. He's competed and contended in top 10s and these missed cuts. He misses the cut. So that top 20 play at plus 192 doesn't hit. But we took Brooks Koepka at plus 130, and it was dicey there on Sunday. It was a hit or miss, but he finishes tied for 18th. Therefore, Brooks Koepka at plus 130 gives us our only win in that top 8 realm. We finished 1 for 7 because remember the Akshay withdrawal when he withdrew from the tournament doesn't count. So out of 7 potential picks, we got 1 right. So then we go to the bonus. So I had a top 20 parlay of Xander Schauffele, Sahith Theegala, and Austin Smotherman. Well, Smotherman missing the cut, and so did Sahith Theegala. That immediately negates that. I had the winning margin of 2 shots, but it was 1 shot, so that's done. Now, I had thought that Xander Schauffele was going to win, and I didn't even think twice about this, but I took Xander Schauffele in the double play. If Xander or Fitzpatrick wins, we win. So we hit that because Matt Fitzpatrick won the tournament. Therefore, we get plus 560 odds. That's a win. We also had Xander and Matt Fitzpatrick as well as Victor Hovland at plus 390 in the triple play. That hit because Matt Fitzpatrick won. So we actually go 2 for 4 in bonus plays with 2 winning plays at plus 560 and plus 390. I'm calling that a win. I'm calling it a win. And so now we physically turn the page to the Texas Children's Houston Open at Memorial Park Golf Course. And if you listened to my show yesterday about is there an answer to golf's pace of play issues, when I talked about the latest news and notes in the game of golf, I talked about how this field was really good and that Scottie Scheffler was going to be in the field and a lot of other players that were going to be notable. Well, I delayed recording this podcast, and thank goodness I did, because in the time that I was going to record this to when I actually did, I checked my phone. PGA Tour communications on social media, Twitter especially, they come out and say that Scottie Scheffler has withdrawn from the tournament. He withdrew from the tournament. So we'll get to that and the reason why. But let's talk about this course, Memorial Park Golf Course, par 70, 7,475 yards in length. Past winners in 2024 was Minwoo Lee, 2023 Stefan Jaeger, 2022 Tony Finau, and 2021 Jason Kokrak. So odds on favorite. It was Scotty Scheffler at plus 325. And when you looked at the top 5 that I had already written down, everything shifted when Scotty has withdrawn from the tournament. Now, why did he withdraw? He and his wife are expecting their second child any day now. And so instead of trying to play in this tournament, he decided to sit this one out. I would expect, knowing Scotty, and I don't know Scotty, but just listening to him talk, he's a family oriented guy. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't tee it up until the Masters. You have Valero next week and then the Masters. Depending on when the child is delivered, it just doesn't seem likely. But Scotty Scheffler, not injured, not sick, family business. That's why he's not playing. So Scotty Scheffler was the odds-on favorite at plus 325, but since he's out, now Minwoo Lee is the odds-on favorite, and his odds went from plus 1,800 down to plus 1,500 with Scotty out of the tournament. Chris Gotterup is the next odds-on favorite. He was plus 2,500. Now he's down to plus 2,050. Jake Knapp is the next odds-on favorite. His odds went from 2,600 to plus 2,150. Sam Burns, he went from plus 2,800 to plus 2,350, and Brooks Koepka catapults himself into the top 5 to win at plus 2,400. I was going to take Scotty Scheffler to win this tournament. I think that he's due to bounce back. He lives in Texas. He plays well in Texas, but he's not in the tournament. So I had to pivot, and I had to think about a player that, okay, didn't play last week, and I think there's a reason why. If you go back to watching the Chasing Sunday when they followed Chris Gotterup around, Chris Gotterup was, you could tell he was tired. He even said, he goes, man, just get me to Houston, because he knew that he wasn't playing in the Valspar the following week, and he was looking forward to a week off. I think he's going to come out and play well. I've got Chris Gotterup as my favorite at plus 2,050 to win. Now, my long shot play, this is something that the odds changed. Brooks Koepka was plus 2,900, and that then shifted to plus 2,400 after the withdrawal of Scotty Scheffler. So we're kind of having to always talk about the changing of the odds. But I'm going to go with Brooks Koepka plus 2,400. This guy can figure out his putter. He is hitting a lot of fairways. He's definitely, his approach game has improved tremendously, but his putting remains like it's the boon for him. He can't figure it out. It's the bane of his existence. If he can get the flat blade going, I think that he has a good shot. Brooks Koepka has been playing good golf. He's trying to get ready for the Masters. I've got him as a long shot at plus 2,400. So let's go to top 5, top 10, and top 20. This is tough. The top 5 odds have gotten better for bettors. I'm going to go with a couple gut reactions here, and I know that sometimes that doesn't always work out. But Ricky Fowler needs a top 5 finish to get into the Masters. And don't think for a second that that's not on his mind. Ricky Fowler did not play last week. He didn't play particularly well in the Players. I think he finished 1 under par. He made it the weekend. I'm going to take a flyer on Ricky Fowler to be in the top 5 at plus 500 odds. I know that there's people out there that are analytics people that'll say this is a bad play. Don't do it. Going with my gut. I'm also going to go with Sam Burns. I think Sam Burns sets up well at this tournament. Plus 500 for him to be in the top 5. I like that. So our top 5 plays both at plus 500, Ricky Fowler and Sam Burns. Then we go to top 10. I'll take Minwoo Lee, last year's champion, plus 176. And I'll take Chris Gotterup at plus 225 to be in the top 10. So our top 10 plays, Minwoo Lee and Chris Gotterup. Minwoo Lee's odds at plus 176, Chris Gotterup at plus 225. Now we go to top 20. Shane Lowry has not played well since he had that really, I mean, it was a disastrous finish at PGA National, and he hasn't played well. He's missed a lot of cuts. I think that this guy's too good to be down for this long. I got Shane Lowry top 20 at plus 178. And then I'm going to go with our buddy Alex Smalley, who's been playing well. He holed out for Eagle last week. He's been playing consistent golf. I've got him top 20 at plus 198. So Shane Lowry and Alex Smalley are our plays for the top 20. Now our bonus plays, again, I had four plays and I had to cut it down to 3. When Scotty Scheffler withdrew from the tournament, the double plays, the triple plays, all those were kind of taken away from the book to redo things. I'm not taking any double or triple plays. I will do a top 10 parlay. If Brooks Koepka and Jake Knapp finish in the top 10, then we have plus 1,250 odds. So that's our top 10 parlay. I'm going to take Tom Kim to be in the top 30, and that's plus 205 odds. And then I'll take the winning margin of 2 shots at plus 355 odds. So again, our bonus plays, we have 3 of them. Tom Kim to be in the top 30 at plus 205. Brooks Koepka and Jake Knapp as a top 10 parlay at plus 1,250. And the margin of victory, 2 shots at plus 355. Man, this was a chaotic press podcast based on the fact that Scottie Scheffler, expecting his second child, he withdrew from the tournament. So if you're a Scottie fan, you're not going to see him in the field this weekend. We'll see if he comes back next week or if he just sits out until the Masters. It's going to be fun either way. Make sure you check out all of our podcasts here at the Fairways and Dreams. If you missed my one yesterday about the pace of play issues in the game of golf, both professionally and recreationally, go back and listen. It's not time sensitive whatsoever. Make sure you check out tomorrow. My buddy Dan from Leave the Pin will be joining me for a mixtape podcast. But that's it. You know how we finish these up. Be safe, be kind, and God bless. We will see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.